So, hi, I'm Joe Prusa. I'm the creator of Prusa Mendel, and I have wonderful guest in Prague, which is Alessandro Ranellucci. I hope I pronounced it right. He's also known as Sound, and he does the slicer, basically the software everyone uses for slicing their 3D models. Uh, well, during our interview, you can view a beautiful look over the city of Prague we have here. We climbed the hill for you to have this view, so consider it as plus. And now I guess we can start our interview. So, Alessandro.
Hi Joe.
Hi.
It's the first time you're calling me Alessandro. You have been calling me Sound for all my stay.
Yeah, I'm used to it. Like we chat a lot on the IRC.
Of course, yeah.
So, first question. When did you start it with RepRap and how?
It was like 1.5 years ago when I needed something to print cheap architectural models. Yes, little buildings for myself. And well, I investigated and I started getting crazy about all those kits available, and I have really no clue about what traps could be or good kits could I
Yes.
buy.
Did you get burned?
Well, no, I made a good choice. I bought a Shaper Cube, which is a very sturdy printer and a very good kit. So I got in touch with very good people from IRC, including you and
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, Shaper Cube is made by a friend of ours, by Joachim Glauche. You can find him at reprapsource.com. So you can check it out. Well, and how did you start it with Shaper Cube? Was it like smooth? Like how did you dive into the RepRap? I know it's very complicated for the newbies.
Well, even if the kit was very good, I had to learn a lot before I got good prints. And of course, my first problems were with the software toolchain. And everybody knows SkyForge, which is a very complicated piece of software, and I got my first prints with a totally random combination of settings. So I just froze them and decided I won't change them ever again.
Yeah, I know that. It took me like a year or so to get like good at SkyForge, and another like year and half a year to call myself SkyForge Ninja.
That's good title for you.
Yeah, but we had it even more complicated because we had like DC extruders when we started. That was like the real skill. Now it's
I can imagine, it was a pain.
yeah, you made it so easy that even a newbie can do
Yeah,
it.
a modern era for 3D printing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I started with the experiment now many people know, which is called Slicer, which is not an experiment anymore.
Yeah.
But it was totally an experiment for me at the beginning. I was sure I would have faced impossible problems about geometry, about performance, about community handling, about everything.
Yeah, I
Well.
had the completely same experience with my printer. I just made something for myself and suddenly it took off and like thousands of people were using it. I wonder, can you share any numbers how many users you have?
Well, I have some partial numbers about downloads of the Slicer binary package, and I am counting an average of 20,000 or 25,000 downloads per each release.
Wow.
So you have to sum the number of people cloning from the GitHub repository
Yes.
and subtract the number of people having more than one printer, of course,
Yes.
or more than one PC. But anyway, it's way more than I figured before.
Yes, I personally thought before you told me so before that there's like 10 max 15,000 RepRaps around, but if you tell there's roughly around 25,000 and your toolchain isn't the only one,
Exactly.
that's amazing numbers, and I think that RepRap achieved something you never thought before.
Exactly. And you should have some numbers about your printer in particular.
Well,
that would be fun.
I don't know, I don't have any
Any way to figure it out.
exactly like I personally did like 200 printers, or I printed parts, so that's still a lot, but many people sell my kits all around the world, which is great, and I love that. There are also a lot of vendors which like tweak it a bit or screw it a bit and sell it under their name, and some of them unfortunately don't even mention RepRap, which I don't like, but well, it's legal. And something like that happened to the Tangibot. Have you seen the Tangibot on
No.
the Kickstarter?
No.
Well, basically the guy in USA started Kickstarter campaign where he basically wants to sell MakerBot replicator with only changed the
brand name.
the brand name.
Okay.
And he's like, buy the best printer available, it's Tangibot, it's exactly the same as MakerBot replicator but 30% cheaper. And it started a lot of discussion around the open source community. What do you think about so openly doing that? Like, I mean, we are all friends. The community around IRC is very friendly, and we would never do that. But it's still legal, and there's a lot of people wanting to join the 3D printing.
I think we as RepRap community, we should build some things more solid to face those problems in the future, because I think we are going to face these situations of bad forks, bad copies, bad vendors way more in the future. So we have to build some videos, some websites, some I don't know what, but we have to protect ourselves and our research, because we are doing the research part and they are doing a bad selling job, not even a good selling job.
Yes, exactly. And it always makes me sad and takes the drive from me. I mean, did something like that happened in software wise to your slicer? Did someone like rebrand it or made a close copy?
No, this hasn't happened so far, but I'm ready for that moment because it is released under the GPL license, and we know that forking and rebranding is allowed if you respect the license terms.
Yes. But I think you have very good copy protection. You wrote it in Perl.
I wasn't going to mention that, but this is playing the biggest role in protection.
Yeah, but I'm trying with next release, which is just around the corner with i3.
Yeah.
You've seen prototypes.
I saw the prototype, and really, believe me, I love that printer.
I'm flattered, but I want to do something like motivate the sellers to be like faithful to RepRap.
Yeah.
By mentioning all the sellers which sell the vanilla version, or like approving that or mentioning it's i3 based on the prusamendel.org or on the wiki page, and I want like to verify that it's a good thing. I still don't have it thought through, but I hope that it will help somehow to stop this like bad guys trying to
make profit. Well,
I don't care about profit, but I do care if they are
side effects for our community.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I can just wish you good luck with that, because I think you will face some situations, some problems, some situations where you have to decide and say, I decide. It's not everything about community and democratic decisions.
Yes, I face that a lot, especially. Well, you must know that too. When I started my work, it was just playing for myself, and I didn't have any responsibility. But as soon as you have thousands of users, then it becomes a whole different thing. Because if you release something and it's bad, and like in my case it's even worse, and sellers start to produce kits with the bad thing, it's big bad problem.
Exactly.
Well, for you they just can download another version, but we create real thing.
The effects are seen sometimes after.
What happens if you have bad release?
Bad release happen all the time. Okay, it's a joke. No, happen all the time because I use the community as a beta testing pool. So until we are in development, in active development, I never push out a very stable release because I fix bugs and I introduce things to be tested, and community helps a lot about this.
Yes.
I get bug reports in a few hours from the commit in the repository.
Yes, that's great.
Anyway, the problem I'm facing more and more is that no decision, no commit, no new feature, no change makes everyone happy.
Yeah, that's impossible.
Every time there is a percentage of people saying, I don't like this, please revert it.
Yeah.
And,
But we
and you
love-
feel bad about that.
We love haters.
Hey, haters.
What? Now let's talk about future. What we can expect in future versions of Slic3r.
There is a lot to do. There is a lot to do from about the practical tools of the program. For example, 3D preview. For example, calibration tools, wizards, and improvements for integration with host softwares and portability and whatever. Also, and then there are all the research branches about multiple extrusion, which is going to be finished very soon.
Yeah, that brought another idea on my mind. Sorry for interruption. But how do you feel about funding? I know that Lulzbots, or how do we pronounce them properly? Like Jibba, donated some money for you to create the futures they were interested in. I think it's a great way for companies how to give back to community. Why do you think that not so many of them does that?
Well, I got donations so far. Donations from users saying thank you, and go on. Or thank you, I use this software for making profit, because many users do.
Yeah.
And I feel good to give you a little part of my profit, or that kind of signs of appreciation.
Yes.
Anyway, this is not funding. This is a way to say thank you. I do not rely on this.
Yeah.
For example, I cannot go that step beyond to hire a person. For example, hire a student. This is what I would like to do. I tried to enter the Google Summer of Code program to get some funding. My application wasn't accepted because they wrote that it was too much a one-man job rather than a community project. So anyway, it was just my first time I was filing an application. Now about companies, Lulzbot asked me, can we fund your work to do some things we need? For example, working support material and multiple extruders support, because they need it for their business, for their customers, for their future projects. And this is good because I'm releasing code to the public. Community is benefiting from my work, and they are getting visibility.
Yes, and also I bet it's cheaper for the company if they want to introduce like standard dual head support to send you some funding for you to do that, than if they want to do it by themselves, like even forking Slic3r and hacking it in.
Yes.
It's much better for them to fund.
Yes, I think they realize it themselves anyway, because forking and putting your head in the geometrical algorithms involved in Slic3r, even if I try to write clean code to help explaining how thing works and how you should hook into the code, it proves to be very complicated, because I learned a lot. And
so, can you live from RepRap?
Can I live? No, I don't. I am not going to try that now because I have my job, because I have.
So if it's not secret, what's your day job?
I develop software, and I am an architect too.
Okay.
But I mostly develop software. I run a software firm.
Oh, cool.
So,
What is your background, if I can ask?
well, I studied architecture, and I've been developing software for more than 10 years. And I've been contributing to open source projects for 10 years. So I'm very used to software, open source software.
Cool. Well,
And what about your plans about making a life, a day job from RepRap?
well, you are twisting the interview, so you interview me, but, well, I guess it's fine. Well, I started my company a few months ago. It's called Prusa Research, and basically I try to put all my RepRap activities into that company, and basically if I do workshop, make it like clear for universities so they can work with me and I can fund my projects. And yeah, I can understand why many companies which try to do open source hardware turn hypocritic. So they say something and then they actually do bad for the community. But yeah, I'm doing that for like now it's almost 4 months, and I still have something to eat, so I'm quite fine. I'm basically what I do. I do mostly workshops, and now I'm trying to bring the Europe from dark ages of not many hot ends available, because in USA it's much better, and provide my nozzle, which you've seen too, and I hope you will like it. And yeah, it's a tough job, because if it's open source, everybody knows what you're doing. So to keep the customers, you will have to be the best.
I like that plan.
Yeah, it's a good plan to be the best, and I think that if you have patent or anything, that you don't have to be the best. You are just lazy and sitting, and that's why I think that RepRap developed so fast.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm worried about what the community should do for the RepRap itself under the RepRap name, to
Yeah.
not to let it die and fork among many printers, many side projects.
Yeah. How do you think that the DIY or the RepRap way of the open hardware printers is the way for the future, or you think that the big companies, big scale companies like 3D Systems with their fake up printer will like crash the RepRap?
No, I think the RepRap will make history not just from about tools, about having rapid prototyping tools
Yeah.
available, but about what a community can do,
Yes.
and hundreds of people working together from all the world
Yes.
and building projects, quality technological projects that can win on the market
Yes.
against some so-called professional ones.
Yeah. I consider first successful open hardware project as Arduino. Arduino team is now my friends, and I chat with them a lot, and I love Arduinos. But RepRap still is popular. There's no, by far, there's not the same number of RepRaps as Arduinos. But RepRap is unique in the way how it's decentralized.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes call it, which I used for the first time last year at Maker Faire, open hardware. Not that it's only open, but it's open for everyone to just come in and completely change it. Like
Exactly.
if you do Arduino fork, there's only a limited chance that it can become the main thing in the community.
Of course, I always liked the fact that our printers contain many pieces which carry the name of their designer.
Yeah.
We know the weight extruder or other parts,
Yeah.
and so they carry this the crowd crowd design.
Yeah. Alessandro, I think that it was a wonderful interview. I thank you for visiting me in Prague.
Thank you for hosting me and in this wonderful city.
Do you have something to say to RepRappers out there?
Well, Joe is just awesome, so goodbye everybody.
Okay. Hi. Thanks for watching.